Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League Spike Magazine Trophy. It is the final, the championship game. BB Nut, welcome to the stream. We are down to just two teams in this competition, and they're two fantastic coaches, two fantastic teams. Tonight, it's gonna be Cenozoic Park versus the Real American Heroes. Nick Satan versus Dead Fred. Lizardmen versus Dark Elves. Let's see how this bracket has shaken out into this final game of the Spike Magazine Trophy. Cenozoic Park defeating league champion Doug the Minotaur's White Skull Windbreakers in the semifinals to advance here to the finals. The Real American Heroes defeating Alphidas Australis in the semifinals to advance to the finals. Alphidas Australis, a Wood Elf team coached by newcomer Eric, and of course the White Skull Windbreakers, no stranger to a semifinals bracket. But they'll be back for vengeance in the Dungeon Bowl, I have to imagine. Lizards versus Dark Elves. I mean, I couldn't ask for a whole lot more here in this final competition. BB Nuts hoping for murder. Me too. First up, the home team for this evening is going to be Cenozoic Park. They're coming in a TV of 1,410,000 gold and a full 11-player roster. They have the big guy, the Crocs, Richard Attenborough. They have all 6 of their Saurus blockers. They have a Chameleon Skink and then 3 regular Skink runners, 1 Apothecary, 5 dedicated fans, and 3 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Dark Elf team coached by Dead Fred. Dead Fred looking for their first competition victory here tonight. Also with an 11-player roster, they're coming in a TV of 1,460,000 gold. That's 50,000 gold going back to Cenozoic Park this evening. Not a whole lot they can do with that, but they'll get a little use out of that money. All 4 blitzers, a runner, 2 witch elves, and a bunch of linemen round out the roster here. 1 oppo, 6 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls. How do the two teams play tonight? Let's take a look at the Lizards first. The Lizards, boy, so Nick Satan's done a good job in a relatively short amount of time. At the beginning of this competition, didn't really have the skills he needed on this team, and now, here in the finals, has a bunch of skills that are very, very useful, right? He has the Crocs with block and guard. That's great. 4 of his 6 Sauruses have block. Fantastic. Sam Jackson, a key piece to look out for tonight, has the tackle skill. BD Wong has Mighty Blow. He has not 1, but 2 sneaky gets. Trevor Morgan II and Ty Simpkins. However, Ty Simpkins has got that secondary foul skill, dirty player as well. That'll be the main fouler tonight. Importantly, Cenozoic Park missing a lot of the running skills, the ball carrier skills on these skinks, and that means that the Dark Elf team will have to really focus down on these skinks tonight. If you can get a block on a skink, you want to take them out because these are the only pieces on a lizard team that can reliably carry the ball. But because they're missing those ball skills, every single one that gets removed is a big, big deal. And Dead Fred's going to be looking for those opportunities everywhere he can. Dead Fred does have to watch out for Ty Simpkins. He's going to be a nasty player to deal with. With 2 sneaky gets on the roster, that means Cenozoic Park might be going heavy on the fouls tonight. They have a number of players with block, 5 players with the block skill, but again, crucially, they don't really have any of the skills on the skinks to make them more reliable as ball carriers. They don't have sure hands, they don't have block, and this is going to be a big hole that the Dark Elves are going to try to exploit tonight. Now, the Dark Elf team, also a fairly decent roster here at middling TV, has all 4 blitzers, 3 of which are blockers. 1 has strip ball. That means Destro's gonna be going after the ball carrier. They'll be trying to crack open the cage if possible. They can do that with the Baroness, right? I was gonna say Baroness the Scarlet. Baroness or Scarlet, the Witch Elves have Frenzy. That makes it easier to remove or push players out of position. He can go after the ball carrier with strip ball as well with Destro. That's something to watch out for tonight. Nick Satan's gonna have to be really mindful of where Destro is at any given time on the pitch. Hawk and Zartan are blodgers with sidestep. These make these natural ball carriers. They are nightmare pieces to deal with. They can blitz fairly easily. They can be wherever they want on the pitch. With sidestep means that surfing is very, very difficult against these pieces. A very good skill combination here on Hawk and Zartan. He has Duke, who is the leader that's going to give him 1 extra reroll, and block is a great pickup. The Baroness is a blodger. Again, these Witch Elves come with Frenzy and Dodge, so a blodger with Frenzy and Sidestep. That Baroness, another real critical piece to watch out for here on the Real American Heroes roster. And then, of course, Scarlet with the tackle skill. So each coach has one tackle player, and that is another thing to watch out for tonight with all the dodge on the board, right? The Skinks all have dodge. And then, of course, on the Real American Heroes, there are dodges on the 2 Witch Elves and dodges on 3 of the Blitzers. That tackle piece is going to be a very important piece for each of these coaches tonight. You want to get that tackle piece where he needs to be, whether that's the ball carrier, whether that's an intended receiver. If you can leverage tackle and keep your opponent from doing that, you're negating one of their skills, right? Right? Tackle negates dodge. That is a big, big deal. And there's going to be a little bit of jockeying of positions for these 2 tackle pieces to try to keep them away from the dodge players, right? Keep them away from the ball carriers, keep them away from the players who you need to reposition with that dodge skill. So very interesting matchup here tonight. Real American, we talked about how Cenozoic Park does not have the ball carrier skills on the Skinks. I think that's the big gap in their roster. I think for the Real American Heroes, their gap, all this Wrestle, Wrestle's not a bad skill, but I think on this more resilient team, I'm not sure how much of an advantage it'll be here tonight. He has 3 players with the Wrestle skill. Maybe it will. We'll see what happens. Wrestle basically means that a both down result does not hurt you. It doesn't result in an armor roll, but it also doesn't result in a turnover. So if you're going to use that on your opponent's turn, you really have to make the decision. You're like, oh, do I want to risk the knockdown and have it be my turn again, or do I not want to risk the knockdown? I don't know. I think Wrestle's a great skill on maybe a Wood Elf team. I think it's a great skill here as well, situationally, and I just think in this matchup, maybe the situation's not so great. He does have Mighty Blow to watch out for. Maybe that's a consideration tonight. But boy, Nick Satan, he's got the Fowlers, he's got the strength advantage, he's going to be trying to remove players. Real American Heroes with all these positional pieces, right? 2 pieces with Frenzy and a whole bunch of blodgers with Sidestep. I think he's going to try to win on the positioning game tonight. If he can hunt those Skinks, he wins. Plain and simple. So enough yammering by me. We'll see if the coaches are ready to go and get this final game of the Spike Magazine Trophy underway. Dank the Ranger says Dead Fred actually won the season 2 Dungeon Ball. I know because he defeated me. Yeah, he oh, did he? Well, he sure did. What a oh well. What great research I did, huh? Real American Heroes win the coin toss here. We'll see if they go on offense or defense. I think they can go either way here. I think against these sneaky gets in this Mighty Blow, they might opt for defense to start with. And indeed, that's exactly what they choose. The Real American Heroes are going to start this game on defense. Both teams with just 11 players on their rosters. Real American Heroes to set up first. Shuffling through their positions. Into an anchor formation to start with. And it looks like this is what they'll be going with. They're not up against a passing team. That'll be fine. Giving up the wide zones, not terribly risky. They have to be a little careful. The Skinks do have the speed advantage in this matchup. The Skinks have an MA of 8, whereas the fastest players on the Elven team are the Witch Elves here, the Baroness and the Scarlet, the Baroness and Scarlet, each with an MA of 7. Elden Ringo says, Dark Elves are such a good defensive team. Really have to watch out they don't sneak the ball away from you. Indeed, indeed. They can also get themselves between your line and where your ball is if you're not careful. So you really, on offense against a team like this, you really want to make sure you spread your offense wide enough to prevent that from happening. And now Cenozoic Park to set up their offense. Cenozoic Park with 3 on the line currently. No one in the right wide zone, 2 in the left. That's sure to change. Yes, indeed. He's going to bring Wayne Knight out of the left wide zone back into mid-pitch here. Good Polish says, Dead Fred surfed my orcs like we were at Waikiki. Here's the kick. So 2 wide, and they're both Sarses for Cenozoic Park. On the ball. It's going to be leveraged to get Joe Mazzolo next to the ball, but a quick snap means he can get under it right here on the ball. A fairly slipped-on skill, I think. Repositioning the offense, moving players forward. He got a 3 on the D3. He gets to move 6. 1 more left to move. "50-50 catch does not work out. Turn 1 for Cenozoic Park now. Dude, I blocked to start the game. It's going to be double skulls. Oh, I hope this is not a portent. Actually, I hope that is. That's Nuffle with double skulls and a double pals. Let's go. Cenozoic Park down to 2 rerolls. Second block on the line here. A pal by BD Wong, and wow! Turn 1 removal for Cenozoic Park. Dead Fred really contemplating using the Apothecary on Chuckles. He does! He ends up using the Oppo on Chuckles. Doesn't want to be down a player. And the Oppo will save Chuckles' life. So that's the Apothecary spent for the Dark Elf team. Final block on the line. He's going to take the block with the Crocs before moving any players near the ball. Ooh, risky, risky. But he got double pals out of this. 8+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. This is another armor break. Gets a stun out of it. BB Nut says, if this game ends with an unskilled skink versus the runner, I'll be happy. Neither team with anybody on the bench. No reserves for either team. Dead Fred decided he didn't want to be down a player for the remainder of this game for at least 16 turns, perhaps 24. 30 seconds left on the clock for Cenozoic Park. This is some bug. I don't know. Maybe it's not a bug. I don't know why the clock for the Real American Heroes is down. Like, what's going on there? Oh, you know what? There must be some pool of time to pick results. That has to be it, right? Now Cenozoic Park on the bonus clock after the blitz. They get a sidestep push out of it. 3+ pickup with Ariana Richards III. Advances the ball to his own 16-yard line. A couple of skinks protecting. That might be the turn. It's going to reposition Jeff Goldblum onto the line. All the Saracens on the line, along with the big guy. 7 on the line now for Cenozoic Park. Ooh, they're going to pull the left end off. Wayne Knight's going to pull back and try to get a little bit of protection on the left side. Real American Heroes now, their first turn of this championship game. Both coaches, by making it to this final, will have earned an invitation to the Blood Bowl later in the season. The Blood Bowl is the championship competition. We have one more open competition between now and then. That's going to be our Dungeon Bowl. It's not the actual game of Dungeon Bowl. It's just Blood Bowl. But that's open to anybody who wishes to play, whether you've played Blood Bowl or not, whether you even know how to play Blood Bowl, whether you're a pro, whether you've played with us, whether you've played tabletop only. Anybody's welcome to play with us. Registration's going to open up tomorrow. You can join us in our Discord and say, hey, I'd like to play in the Dungeon Bowl, and we'll get you signed up and ready to go. The rules are in place where even if you haven't played in the rest of the season, you can play one competition and still make it to the championship. And we also have rules in place in case life gets in the way. You have to play one game a week, generally speaking, but we have extensions. Each coach gets three-day extensions over the course of the competition. But yeah, come hang out in our Discord. Come play with us if you'd like to play this super rad game. I love Blood Bowl. Real American Heroes repositioning their defense. Not getting super risky, but applying pressure on the right side with Zartan. Zartan the blodger with sidestep. 17 seconds left on the clock for the Real American Heroes. And that will be the turn. That is it. They're not overcommitting. 2-die blitz right out of the gate on Zartan. This is going to be a push by Sam Jackson. Zartan, with the sidestep skill, could move towards the cage if he wishes. But if he does, he'll probably eat a 1-die, maybe even a 2-die. He says, yeah, no thank you. To sidestep forward, however, the ball might pass Zartan by here in this upcoming Cenozoic Park turn. Advances the ball to his own 8-yard line. The ball in the hands of Ariana Richards III. Trevor Morgan, the second on the front right corner of the cage, and Ty Simpkins, the number 12. Dirty player skink on the front left side of the cage. Ellie Marina says Zartan's not chasing the ball. He's moving into scoring position. And as Elder Barreto says that, Lara Dern III is going to move forward to mark Zartan. I think if he wants a scorer, I don't know. I think I'd rather it be something like roadblock. I want to be getting use out of Zartan. Turn 2 for the Real American Heroes now. Oof. Could conceivably surf Sam Jackson, but not likely. Dead Fred, a very cautious defense all season long. All competition long, I should say. Maybe all season long. Good 2+ dodge. It's a blitz with Zartan. Rushes into position. The 2-die blitz on Joe Mazzulo. This will be a knockdown. Well done, but no armor break. Is he going to rush to try to mark the ball carrier, though? Had to rush on the blitz. Has one rush left. I don't know if he wants to rush here. But maybe. 2+ to rush into position here, but then he's given up a block to his opponent. He decides not to, and now applying pressure with Hawk. Moves Duke into the position vacated by Hawk over in the left wide zone. 2 harassment blitzers now on the opposing side of the pitch. Turn 3 for Cenozoic Park. Tizzle Bizzle, welcome to the stream, asks, was the competition in which the registration opens up tomorrow called Dungeon Ball? I'm having trouble finding any info in the Discord. Yeah, it actually hasn't opened yet, so I haven't mentioned anything, but it's called the Dungeon Ball. Just say like, hey, I want to sign up, or say like, hey, Ava, I want to sign up, and I will message you with the info. Once it opens up, the announcement channel will have all the information for registration, but basically it simply entails you announcing your desire to play. You give me your Discord name, your coach name, and your coach name, your team name, and your team race, and then we'll get you all signed up. You bet. And thanks for participating. Good luck. Push on the blitz, repositioning these players. Ariana Richards is going to be on the 4. Wow. 2 good dodges by Joe Mazzulo. 1 good dodge, I should say, but failed the first one. Got a free reroll with the dodge skill. Worked out the second time. Real American Heroes now on turn number 3. The defense very, very tightly knit at center pitch. We'll see if Dead Fred feels he can start to apply the pressure and stop this cage right here. Almiruna says, protecting those skinks indeed. One minute left in the turn. Repositioning by Dead Fred. Taking marks. It looks like he might start trying to apply some pressure. 2-die blitz on the right side of the line. Gets a push on BD Wong. Keeps Duke marked. Does not follow up. If Duke gets removed from the pitch, Duke is the leader, giving that extra reroll. That's why the Real American Heroes have 4 rerolls. They only have 3 on the roster. If Duke gets removed, that extra reroll will be removed as well. Uh-oh. This is both teams. This is the this is the broken heart formation. Oh. He's gonna get the knockdown with Mighty Blow against Duke here. Will it work out? He broke armor. Got a stun out of it. Yeah, that was the danger. Danger with leaving Duke marked, but to stay on the pitch, and that reroll will stay for Real American Heroes in this half. Richard Attenborough goes boneheaded for the turn. Now a knockdown on roadblock over in the right wide zone. Richard Attenborough being boneheaded means that BD Wong and Sam Neill have to put in a lot of work here. BD Wong being marked means the front right corner here is a bit exposed. Laura Dern III is covering the right side here, but there's no more tackle zones here if BD Wong gets knocked down. Bootballer says, Ava is drawing, death's incoming. Under a minute play for Cenozoic Park. They're going for the blitz right in front of the line. They get a POW against the rookie Cobra Commander. It gets a stun. Good stun here. Probably wants to reposition Sam. Oh, he can't. Sam Jackson's marked. Oh, scary stuff. He's going to have to move this ball carrier now. BB, that's right. Then you have to solve a puzzle. you have to escape the room. Ball on the 4. He's going to cover Ariana Richards with Joe Mazzulo. He's the injured chameleon skink. Turn 4 now for the Real American Heroes. Witch Elves have been in the secondary, biding their time. They are the most fragile on the roster at an AV of 8+. Real American Heroes do not want to throw them into danger, but will want to take advantage of Frenzy and certainly take advantage of Tackle and Scarlet. Skink's very, very fast. Nick Satan really doesn't have to move toward the end zone until turn 7. Dead Fred with 1 minute, 10 seconds left on the turn clock, looking for an opportunity to try to take advantage of this boneheaded Crocs. Two-die block on the left side of the line. Gets a push on Sam Neill. Sam Neill, the number 3 Saurus. One of these Sauruses with the block skill. An important piece on the Lizard team. Sauruses with the strength of 4. Block is usually the first skill you're going to pick up on these Sauruses. You want to take advantage of that strength. And a way to do that is make your block safer. Block, probably the most important skill in the game of Blood Bowl. I don't think that's... I don't think that's unfair to say. Roadblock, the rookie lineman in the right wide zone is going to mark Laura Dern III. The Sars is very easy to mark. One die blitz on Ariana Richards and gets the PAL. We'll see where this ball bounces. Breaks armor at that. Gets a stun out of that. The ball's going to bounce to the 2. So good use of pressure by Dead Fred to get that ball out of the hands of Ariana Richards. It's going to be stunned for a turn as well. Big stun. When you lose these skinks, you don't have a reliable ball carrier. When everybody... Good block by Destro here on Joe Mazzulo. And when your Sarses are marked, it's very hard to move them because they're AG 5+, as is the Crocs. Roll a skull on a block here. Spends that leader reroll, got a PAL out of it. Real American Heroes down to 3 rerolls for the half. And the second quarter begins. Cenozoic Park has yet to cross the line of scrimmage. They've just lost control of the ball. It is sitting on their own 2-yard line, marked by Shipwreck. 2-die block against Zartan. He was the blitzer last turn. He's going to be knocked down. We'll see if he sidesteps towards the ball or not. If he does, he's going to be in the thick of it on the upcoming turn. He is going to do so. We'll see if he stays on the pitch here. Armor break. He's going to be stunned. Potential foul opportunity on Zartan by Ty Simpkins. Two-die block on Scarlet the Witch Elf. It's going to be a wrestle. So this is what Dead Fred has to think about now. He'll absolutely use wrestle here. He doesn't want to lose Scarlet, but it means the drive continues. Two-die block on the right side by Roadblock, or against Roadblock is going to be a push. Baroness just marked here. Baroness, the number 12 Witch Elf on the left side of the line. Cenozoic Park trying to push these elves away. Elves very, very agile with an AG of 2+. Cenozoic Park with the Skinks. The Skinks have an edge of 3+. It makes picking up the ball a little more difficult. Neither team with sure hands. Sure hands gives you a free reroll on the ball pickup. Sure hands also negates strip ball. If Cenozoic Park had a player with no hands, they wouldn't have to worry too much about the strip ball player. Cenozoic Park back on the bonus collect here at the beginning of the second quarter of play. Important turn. Stand-up blitz by BD Wong. Gets a push. I don't think that was a bad play at all. Unfortunately, he's only going to get a push out of this. Richard Attenborough is going to move forward. They're going to try to set up a scrum. Start fighting for this ball on the 2-yard line. Nick Satan, a little bit on the back foot here. Does have a one-man player advantage. However, this is his turn to score, right? Or his half to score. He was on offense to start with. He doesn't want to end this half scoreless, whereas the Real American Heroes, if they can end this half scoreless, they will have done their job. They'll be just fine with that. So Nick Satan with a little bit more pressure to try to recover this ball and try to score. There's the foul by Ty Simpkins. Gets a stun out of it. Two good dodges by Joe Mazzolo to get back across the line of scrimmage, and now turn 5 for the Real American Heroes. Dead Fred doing an expert job here of not getting overcommitted on defense, applied a little bit of pressure behind this offense, kept that pressure going, kept it alive, and were able to knock the ball out. And now they've locked down the offense at mid-pitch. The offense constricted itself, came in a little tight. Dead Fred took the opportunity to try to come down on it. He hasn't really encircled the offense, but he is stopping it dead in its tracks currently. Even though he's marked, he's in a better position than Cenozoic Park. Cenozoic Park, with these Sarses are marked, they don't want to dodge at all. But the 2+ dodge for the Real American Heroes, no sweat. So if this ball, for example, if this ball were to swing out this way, Real American Heroes would have no problem pulling players to the left. Two-die blitz on Lara Dern. The third is going to be a pal. Big 10+ to break armor. He's going to push onto the ball. He's going to try to get this ball out of this scrum. Hank the Ranger says always push under the ball. Ball's gonna bounce out to the opposing 4-yard line. Well done by the Real American Heroes. They're gonna have an opportunity to recover. Ball currently marked by Richard Attenborough. Scarlet, the number 13 Witch Elf, is gonna stand up. Good 2+ dodge to get a mark on the ball by Shipwreck. Shipwreck, the level 2 lineman. Here's the ball pickup. 3+ pickup works out by the Baroness. And now, oh boy, he's gonna want to dodge the Baroness out of here. So the Baroness has an AG of 2+, but Richard Attenborough has that prehensile tail. So that instead of being a 2+ dodge, that was a 3+ dodge, but worked out. And now the Real American Heroes have recovered this ball on defense. They have it on their own 8-yard line. Very well done by Dead Fred. Cenozoic Park now on the back foot. Not a bad play here by Dead Fred. So Dead Fred came in on the ball, pushed onto the ball, and the reason it's not a bad play is if the ball comes out over here, right? He's fine with that. It gives him an opportunity to recover. If the ball comes out over here, he might be fine with that as well. That just pushes the ball back a few more spaces. Russell Skill's going to be a both down result. And Richard Attenborough, oh no, big loss here. Richard Attenborough is going to be boneheaded once more. Loses his turn and his tackle zones. Big guys, always a risky, well, almost always a risky piece. Most teams have negatrates on their big guys. There are a few exceptions. Undead with their mummies is one. Russell's down Tomax. Russell's down Tomax on the blitz. Really wanted to get the knockdown and try to move Sam Jackson. Cenozoic Park, so many players marked. It's going to be real hard to move players into position to get after this ball. This is going to make the drive come down to the Skinks. 15 seconds on the clock. You never want the drive to have to come down to the Skinks. Ty Simpkins on the foul. Succeeds, does not get called off the pitch. Gets a stun on Zartan. Takes a mark on Duke. Cenozoic Park back on the bonus clock here in turn 6. Under 5 minutes left on the bonus clock. Real American Heroes have a little over 5 on the bonus clock. And they are up now on turn 6 of this game. Real American Heroes with an opportunity to advance this ball forward. A number of Sauruses marked. Will have to watch out for the 4 Skinks. Needs to get a contingent on the Baroness. But if they can score here in this half, they'll be in great shape going into the second half of this game. They'll be on offense, and then they'll just try to find a way to get that ball in the end zone to go up 2-0. But the first order of business is the score here. Stand-up blitz by Tomax. Gets a push on Ariana Richards. This will be a chain push. Looks like he might be moving to the right with the Baroness. Moving to the left, rather, with the Baroness. Yes, indeed. Scarlet, the number 13 Witch Elf, gonna move to the left, but rushes, fails the rush. 2 rushes forward puts Scarlet on the opposing 14. Does that mean there are more rushes to come? No. Shipwreck is gonna try to cover this area right here for the ball carrier. Here we go. It's a rush to get in there. There it is. Good rush by the Baroness. Well done by Dead Fred. The Baroness on the opposing 10-yard line in the left wide zone. Not exactly safe, but in pretty good shape here. Yeah, good positioning. Good dodges by Destro to get this pocket on the ball carrier. Oh. He repositioned Hawk as well. I would have left that alone. Leave Sam Neill where he is. Remember, the Baroness is also a blodger. Only a POW is going to knock the Baroness down if a blitz can get on her at all. She also has sidestep. So every non-POW means the Baroness will very likely get pushed 1 space toward the end zone. Failed dodge in the right wide zone is going to mean turn 7 for Cenozoic Park. Blitz right out of the gate with Sam Neill. He gets a POW on Shipwreck. And we'll have to mark the Baroness at this point. And does just that. Takes the mark in between the 2 Witch Owls. It means at least a 1-die block coming back. It'll more than likely be a 2-die block coming back on Sam Neill. Repositions Richard Attenborough to try to negate the assist by the Baroness. The Baroness already in scoring position. 1 rush will do it. As it stands, a 2+ dodge, 2+ rush will be a TD. Oh, good point. Yeah, it's a 3+ dodge due to the prehensile tail on Richard Attenborough, as BB Dot rightfully points out. Cenozoic Park positioning players. It's not going to matter too much, but just in case things go wrong for the real American heroes, it's always good practice to get your players into position. Gets a KO here. We'll see if this KO sticks. 2-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park. Going for the foul. They get an injury out of it. Is the ref going to call this foul? The ref saw nothing. Well done. 3-man player advantage now for Cenozoic Park. Getting this player advantage, it is a player advantage, right? So if he can get a significant player advantage in the second half, he might not even have to worry. Wow! 2 3+ dodges by Trevor Morgan the second to get in front of the Baroness. Whoa, boy. Turn 7 for the real American heroes. Well done by Nick Satan. Now the Baroness, if they want to blitz, it's going to be 2 rushes to score. They want to blitz out to the left. Blitz out to the left, blitz this way, and then score. But that would make it 2 rushes. Takes a mark on Trevor Morgan with Cobra Commander. Might not try to score, might just try to secure the ball further down pitch here on turn 7. So moved Hawk forward instead of moving him in on Richard Attenborough. This is currently an uphill block on Richard Attenborough. Has Roadblock to stand up as well. Probably save that for the end of the turn if Roadblock is dodging. 2 rerolls left for the half here for the Real American Heroes. Yeah, if he's going to go after Trevor Morgan the second, he's going to have to follow up on the blitz if he wants to score this turn. And if Trevor Morgan doesn't go down, that's going to be another dodge he has to take. Move 09 asks, does the Skink have diving catch or diving tackle? He has diving catch. There it is, good 3+ dodge away. Blitz on Trevor Morgan, he got the POW he was looking for. 8+ to break armor, no armor break. It's now 2 rushes. Thanks to that positioning by Trevor Morgan. There's one. There's the second one. Well done. The Real American Heroes take the lead. Thumbs down to the Lizards. KO not going to come back onto the pitch after that touchdown. So a 2-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park that got back the would have been injury that the Apothecary was spent. Real American Heroes got back the would have been injury on the rookie lineman. It's going to bring the player advantage down to 2, but with just 1 turn left in the half, the Real American Heroes are going to get another opportunity to try to roll this KO player back in. KOs are a 4+ to roll back in. You roll for each KO'd player, and Bloodweiser kegs. Each Bloodweiser keg that you have reduces that roll by 1, or increases it by 1. One Bloodweiser keg, for example, will make it a 3+ to succeed. 2 will make it a 2+. Hank the Ranger says, good score, stupid elves. Real American Heroes. We'll still have a turn in this half. Regardless, they're going to put 3 back away from the line of scrimmage. Duke being one of those players. Again, Duke the leader. He wants to keep Duke alive at least until the beginning of the second half and try to get that reroll and spend it. So 3 all the way back in his own end zone. 3 spread wide in the line, 3 linebackers, and now Cenozoic Park to set up for their final turn of the half unless there's a timeout. Five, 6 on the line currently for Cenozoic Park. 7 now. Trying to block down the line. They have 1 reroll left for the half. Joe Maslow back as the kickoff return player. Trevor Morgan the second. The fullback. Here's the kick. Very shallow kick by the Real American Heroes. Joe Maslow gets to move 3 spaces toward the ball. And it's a blitz. 6 players. That's all 6 unmarked players can reposition by the Real American Heroes. We'll see what they try to do here. I imagine they'll pull all the linebackers back to safety. Unless he actually wants to go in and hunt and go after Ariana Richards. That's exactly what he's going to do. 2-die block on Ariana Richards. Gets a push out of this. You can see he cannot spend his team reroll here because it's not his turn. You can only spend your team rerolls on your turn. It's a push. We'll move Hawk back. Bootpaw says that I didn't know. Yeah, that's something that people get tripped up a lot on. Your team rerolls are available for your turn. So not moving anyone back to safety. He's going to keep those linebackers in position. Turn 8 for Cenozoic Park. 2-die block on roadblock. Gets a POW here. 9+ will break armor. 9+ would be average armor in my opinion. I don't know if that's my opinion. It's probably fact. 2-die block on the center defensive tackle. Gets a POW here. This is Shipwreck. Looking for removals at this point. Has a mighty blow block on Shuckles coming up. That'll bring that armor break attempt down to an 8+. And if he can get the armor break without that bonus, then he gets the +1 on the injury roll instead. Spends a reroll on the both down result. Gets a POW on Destro. Looking for a 9+ here. Destro, the strip ball player, but doesn't break armor. There's the 2-die block on Truckles. 8+ to break armor. He can't get it. And that's all the blocks taken. Tried to get some casualty SPP out of this. Tried to get a player advantage in terms of game strategy here, and it didn't work. Didn't pay off. Didn't work out. The Ranger says Destro has the metal helmet. He's fine. He also has a lot of money. I'm sure whatever happens, he'll be able to fix it. 15 seconds left on the clock for Cenozoic Park. They absolutely don't want to dip in their bonus clock here on turn 8. Really no advantage to come out of it. Gonna try to foul here with Ty Simpkins. 5 assists on the foul. 5 assists on that foul. That brings it to a 4+. He rolled snake eyes, which I will point out would have called him off the pitch if he wasn't a sneaky git. Now the ball pickup is going to try to pass for some SPP with Joe Mazzolo, but can't pick the ball up. Rather, he attempted the short pass, fumbled the short pass. That will be the turn. Turn 8 now for the Real American Heroes. That's very true. He only did the 3+ with 30 player. That's correct. Oh, somebody snubbed Nuffle. Good dodge, trying to get a block on Laura Dern in the third. Can he take out the third Laura Dern? We'll see with the 10+ to break armor. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. He's going to possibly get a block. I think he's going to call this a turn, I think. And that's the turn. The Real American Heroes in the lead, 1-0. They're going to be an offense to start the second half here. We'll see if they get back their KO'd player. Cenozoic Park's really hoping they don't, and they do not. So a 2-man player advantage going to Cenozoic Park as they set up for defense. Cenozoic Park needs to get this ball back and tie the ball game. Unless Cenozoic Park can get a significant player advantage, they're probably playing for a draw at the end of the half. and then kick this game over into overtime. Definitely doesn't want to give the Dark Elves an opportunity to score. They're a very, very fast team. I guess not very, very, but they're a decently fast team. Elden Marina says, I'm a bit surprised Nick didn't try a one-turn there. He might not have had a one-turn setup. MA... the Skinks have an MA of 8. There's 13 spaces from the line of scrimmage to the end zone. So with 2 rushes, let's say, that's 10. That means 3 pushes he needs to get on a Skink to set up the one turn. Nick Satan might not have might not have a setup for that in his head. Might not have memorized the different ways you can set up a one turn either. But it is a good point. Coaches should always have some one turn setups in their back pocket because sometimes they work out. Five on the line here for Cenozoic Park. Boy, that's 4 of the 6 Sauruses plus the Crocs. It could be very easy for them to get tied up. And if they get tied up and there's enough players left to protect the ball carrier, which currently there are, it can be easy for the Real American Heroes to get on the board quickly here. If they go up 2-0, they'll be in a real good spot to win this game. All right, 4 on the line, offset to the left here for the Real American Heroes. Here's the kick. Brilliant coaching. Who got it? Cenozoic Park got the reroll. 4 rerolls apiece. Going into the second half of the game, that's 4 rerolls for the rest of the game, unless Duke gets removed and that reroll does not get spent. Each team will have 4 rerolls for the remainder of the game. Ball kicked to the 10-yard line. And now turn 9 for the Real American Heroes. They take the mark on Laura Dern III. Boot polish praying to Nuffle. Going for the ball pickup. 2+ pickup in the hands of Duke. Duke, the Dark Elf runner, they come with the dump off ability. It means if Duke gets blitzed or blocked, he can do a short pass. Or I'm sorry, he can do a quick pass. Yeah, he can do a quick pass first. So it's one of the few times you can interrupt an action, right? So before that block happens, you can say, actually, I'm going to try to pass this ball first. So that's something you have to be mindful of when you're going after a Dark Elf runner, where everyone is a potential receiver, right? Because everybody's got this 2+ AG because they're elves. I don't have an anvil. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Two plus block. Or a 2-die block on Laura Dern. Gets a push out of it, spends a reroll into another push. Real American Heroes down to 3 rerolls. Spent that Duke reroll. Laura Dern III is going to stay on her feet. And the Real American Heroes back on the bonus clock. They have this ball on their own 6-yard line, way over in the left wide zone. Oh, take a 1 down Jeff Goldblum. This is going to be a wrestle down. Risky block, and I don't think that worked out for the Real American Heroes. Yeah, 2 rushes to get Chuckles into position to stop the double rush blitz by Laura Dern, the third over on the left wide zone. Turn 9 now for Cenozoic Park. They've got a real opportunity to put on to turn up the heat against this Elven team. Try to shut them down right where they are and start beating them up. They're going to have to leave a secondary into position in case a hole opens up, but otherwise they want to start getting these blocks, taking these marks, using Mighty Blow, using block, removing players. Minute 4 on the clock for Cenozoic Park. They have a two-man player advantage. Laura Dern is going to move back a space over in the left wide zone. Laura Dern exerting these tackle zones here. Or tackle zones here as well. Rush blitz on Scarlet will be a push. Scarlet, not a blodger. Wanted Mighty Blow on that Witch Elf. Witch Elf's the weakest pieces, the most brittle pieces on the Dark Elf roster with that AV of 8+. And of the two, that's the one you want to go after. The one that doesn't have the block skill. Real American Heroes now in turn 10. Scarlet does have wrestles, so if it's a both down result, you'll still knock down the Witch Elf, but there'd be no armor break. So Cenozoic Park, keeping the Skinks, we're going to call this a secondary, keeping the Skinks in position at center pitch. Trying to lock down Distro so Distro can't go anywhere. I think Distro might still try to dodge out of here. But at least it's die rolls that he's applying to the Real American Heroes. Under a minute to go now in the turn. Dead Fred trying to figure out where he wants to go. If he moves to the left, then that's going to be where this ball is played out for the remainder of this drive until it breaks out of the inevitable scrum. Otherwise, he's probably looking for a way to reset back to center pitch. I can't even tell if my mic's working. There it is. Yeah, it is. Takes a mark on Sam Jackson. Blackwolf82, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much. Yeah, the captions died on me. So that's normally how out of the corner of my eye I can make sure that the mic's still working. Pulls in an assist with the Witch Elf. 2-die block. Gets the knockdown on Sam Jackson. Big 10+ breaks armor, but if he can do it, Sam Jackson is injured. No armor break. Real American Heroes now back on the bonus block. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left for the duration of the game. And it looks like they are going to fight this out over in the left wide zone. Duke's going to shift over to the left on the 4-yard line, just off the left sideline. Scarlet, the number 13 Witch Elf, pulls back to apply some tackle zones to the right of the ball carrier. Failed that dodge. Failed that dodge. Tried to dodge away from Richard Attenborough. And that's going to be a turnover. Turn 10 for Cenozoic Park. It's time for the Lizards to turn up the heat. They get a knockdown on Roadblock. 8+ breaks armor with Mighty Blow. No armor break. Did I block on Destro? Didn't get an opportunity to try to dodge Destro away. And now Destro is going to be knocked down. No armor break, though. Rolling low on the armor dice. He's keeping the Skink safe, but by keeping him safe here, he's not getting any actions out of them. It's 4 players that are putting in no work on the drive. It's definitely a difficult skill to learn in this game. When you have fragile players, when do you put them into the fray? If you do, how do you keep them safe? And if you can't, when do you do it anyway? I think that's a skill that Wood Elf players learn very quickly, as everyone's fragile. Good blitz by Richard Attenborough, taking a mark on Duke. Yes, indeed. Now the Lizards are indeed turning up the heat and implying? I think they are implying it, but they're also just doing it. Implying pressure. Applying pressure. They set up a column on the just off the left sideline here, but with the front player marked, this is not a guaranteed column formation that prevents the blitz through. 4 assists on Destro. They get the injury here. But the ref caught that. He's going to try to argue the call. Fails. I saw no card. So that's a removal. So 1 for 1. 2-man player advantage on the turnover here. Real American Heroes are up on turn 11. I don't have an anvil. Welcome to the stream. The tail should make things spicy if the Dark Elves can't down the Crocs. Indeed. The Crocs again with that prehensile tail. Makes that dodge a 3+. So Ty Simpkins removed from the game. Too many fouls, the ref says. He says this is a game of dignity and honor. And we will not have that in this league. Good 2+ dodge by Shipwreck. Takes a mark on Sam Jackson. That's right, I'm sorry. The actual quote from the ref was, "This is a game of dignity and honor, and we will not have that in our league." As he holds out his hand. Big pressure here by the Lizards. Real American Heroes with nowhere to go might try to set up for the dump off, but boy. KG Moose says, "Dignity and honor in Blood Bowl? Blasphemy." You're right. I apologize. Somebody fire the ref. Get him out of here with his dignity and honor. Good dodge by Scarlet to get back into position on defense. Or not on defense, I should say, but gets across the line of scrimmage to set up for a potential play on defense. Not really in passing range for a dump off. Dump off can only be a quick pass, so diagonally that'd be 2 spaces. So a dump off pass from where it stands would be something like this, right? Forget that here. Takes a 1-die block into a skull, spends a reroll into a push. Real American Heroes down to 2 rerolls for the rest of the game. If this game goes to overtime, they will not get their rerolls back. Still no lane open for the ball carrier. Might try the dodge blitz with the Baroness, but that's a risky blitz because the Baroness would have to follow up with Frenzy. So I don't think that's an option either. Just 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Real American Heroes. They're trying to find a way out of this heavy pressure. Could maybe try to set up the one die block against Lara Dern and then blitz. Well, the blitz has already been spent. Tries to hand off to the Baroness. Handoff fails. Boot Polish, thank you very much for the bits. Try to hand off to the Baroness. The handoff failed. And the ball is going to be grounded at the 2-yard line. Bounced out of a few hands. Had a decent shot at recovering the ball with roadblock. Gets a knockdown, pushes onto the ball. The ball's going to push one space to the right. Nick Satan, always a fan of pushing on the ball. Two-die block on Cobra Commander. The action order important on this turn, trying to figure out who takes which blocks, how to set up the two-die blocks, how to get your blocks the block skill off. Blitz on roadblock gets the POW here. 9+ breaks armor, but more importantly, roadblock's going to be pushed off of the ball. There's the armor break. Gets a stun out of this. Great stun. Roadblock's going to be out for a turn. No, my goodness. Yes, that's a KO. Anybody who takes that punch. That's a KO. 3-man player advantage now with the knockout by Richard Attenborough. Well done here by Cenozoic Park. He punched you into the ground. And now the 2-die on Duke gets the POW here. Leader reroll's already been spent, but another player removed would be great. Doesn't get the armor break though. Great for Cenozoic Park, that is. Three minutes, 22 seconds left on the bonus clock for Cenozoic Park. They have all 4 of their rerolls. They started with 3. Nuffle graced them with an extra one. They have yet to spend any of them here on turn 11. 4 lizards marking the ball now. 2 Sarses, a Crocs, and Joe Mazzello, the Chameleon Skink. And now the 3+ pickup fails. Spent the... After I just said he didn't spin a reroll. 3+ pickup spent it there, didn't work out. The ball's gonna bounce one space to the right. Decent spot for, well, I think both teams are okay with this. I think Real American Heroes are fine with this-ish. It could have bounced to a better spot for them, naturally. Maybe here, but we'll see what they do here on turn 12. Real American Heroes are in the lead. Even if they can't recover this ball, if they can stop the score, they will win the game and be the new Spike Magazine Trophy champions. 2-die stand-up blitz. This will work out thanks to the block skill. But no armor break on Joe Mazzello by Cobra Commander. Boot Polish says it was the Nuffle reroll. It wasn't going to succeed. How dare you? How dare you, Boot Polish, suggest that you know the will of Nuffle? We cannot know the will of Nuffle, for the will of Nuffle is beyond us, beyond you and I, as we interpret it in our feeble minds as simplistic properties such as chance and probability. We cannot know his ways, but we must have faith. that Nuffle will provide and bless us this day. Amen. Von Ruth, thank you very much for the subscription. 5 months. Thank you very much. Welcome to the stream. Very kind of you. I appreciate it. Poopaw says, I have faith I'll fail a rush 900% of the time. That's just facts. That's just science. Not a lot of action here by the Real American Heroes. Lonner says, how's the game going? It's 1-0. Real American Heroes are in the lead. Cenozoic Park started the half on offense. I'm sorry, started the half on defense. Real American Heroes started on offense. They've lost the ball. And now trying to pick it up here on a big 5+. Fails the pickup. Oh boy, now a 6 coming back. And the ball's gonna on the, oh boy, on the big risky pickup attempt. It fails. The ball's gonna scatter across the line of scrimmage to the opposing 2-yard line. Turn 12, final turn of the third quarter. Cenozoic Park needs to get Hawk off the ball. Needs to get Shipwreck out of the way and then start recovering this ball. KG Moose says, trying to understand Nuffle's true will is like predicting a goblin's next move. It's impossible and a little bit crazy. Well said. Sam Neill's going to be wrestled to the ground by Scarlet the Witch Elf. Sam Neill with the 2-dive block. Resulted in a both down result. Now 2-dive block on Hawk. Gets a POW out of this. 8+ breaks armor. Do not push him onto the ball. Do not push him onto that ball. I know Nick's thinking about it. Do not. Somebody scream. Do not do it. He did it. Breaks armor. Gets an injury. Big injury out of this, but we'll see if this bounces in his favor. Oh no. The ball's gonna stay right where it was. 2-9 block against Shipwreck. Gonna knock down here. Good injury. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4-man player advantage. 4-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park. That's significant now. Now they're in pretty good shape here. They're gonna get a push on the Baroness. This is a sidestep push. She'll get the sidestep wherever she wishes. Looks like Nick Satan's going to go for the ball pickup with Trevor Morgan II. Where's the other skink? Right here. Push on the Baroness again. The Baroness is just going to get closer and closer to the ball here. Still has his blitz. Is he going to try the Joe Mazzulo blitz? I think he needs to pick this ball up first. Two-dive blitz on the Baroness. Gets a push again on the Baroness. Takes it from the inside so the Baroness will not get pushed onto sidestep onto the ball. I'll probably reposition Wayne Knight back out here between the Baroness and the ball before he goes for the ball pickup. Failed the rush. He's going to have to spend the reroll. Oh, God. Scary, scary, scary. All right. 2 rerolls left for Cenozoic Park. Back on the bonus clock. It's a 3+ pickup by Trevor Morgan. He's going to set up a cage here on the opposing 2-yard line. Tight 4-point cage. He's going to do the pickup with Ariana Richards instead. Oh, he's going to have to spend a reroll here as well. Good recovery. Oh, boy. That's a costly play. But now Cenozoic Park has recovered the ball on defense. Cenozoic Park has it on their own 2-yard line. But they're down to just 1 reroll for the game. Fouls Scarlet the Witch Elf. got 1 assist out of that from BD Wong, but did not break armor. Trevor Morgan a sneaky get as well as Ty Simpkins, but not a dirty player. Fourth quarter begins. The first half of the game was a defensive touchdown. Second half of the game, the defense recovers the ball once more, this time at Cenozoic Park with a significant player advantage, trying to play for the draw and to go into overtime. If they can do that, they will be in pretty good shape, especially if these KOs stick, and especially if they can get a couple more before the half is over. Both coaches with dwindling time on the bonus clock. That will carry over into overtime as well if this game goes to overtime. You don't recover any resources. 1 die block on Sam Jackson. Spends the final reroll after rolling a skull into a push. And speaking of resources, the Real American Heroes have no rerolls left for the game. Oh my goodness. They got a push out of that. Had to follow up due to frenzy into the uphill block. And this is going to work out. Man. Oh, man. Frenzy means that if you block, if it results in a push, you must follow up regardless. And if it results in a push, you must immediately take another block. This can be great for getting more dice on a player to try to ensure you get the knockdown, or for moving players out of position, or for surfing players, but it can be tricky if you find yourself in a position where your frenzy block turns out to be uphill. As it did there, it worked out for the Real American Heroes, however. 2 die blitz on the ball carrier. This will be a dodge push by Cobra Commander. No rerolls remaining. Real American Heroes need to get Duke out of trouble. That's going to be risky. Got Scarlet out of trouble. So surf risk on Duke. That'll come up later in the turn, no doubt. Turn 13, fourth quarter. Now for the Cenozoic Park. I'll probably take the block on Cobra Commander with Jeff Goldblum. Yep, with BD Wong, rather. Took it with Jeff Goldblum instead. I thought for sure he'd take it with BD Wong. Decided not to. That means Jeff Goldblum's not going to be able to follow Ariana Richard. Oh, he's taking the block first. Oh, so scary. So scary. Baroness not going to get super risky. Decides to sidestep back to Cenozoic Park's side of the pitch. Trying to blitz down Scarlet. Taking all these blocks before moving players is scaring me. Only gets a push out of it. Scarlet does not have the sidestep skill. I've been playing Remedy's catalog of games. Replayed Max Payne, great game. I just finished Quantum Break. Also a great game, except the last boss fight is miserable. It's absolutely miserable. I don't even know how I actually finished it. Like, the last guy, like, killed himself or something. It was very strange. Great game, except for the last boss fight. Now I'm playing Control. Control is glorious. It is so good. I don't understand. All right, moves the ball back into relative safety. Gets a surf by Richard Attenborough. Another removal. That's a KO as well. Well done. So a 5-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park. Only moves forward to the opposing four-yard line here. Turn 14 for the Real American Heroes. Nick Satan feeling safer over to the left here, but really leaving this ball carrier in the fray. Needs to be mindful of these two Witch Elves with Frenzy. Oh, Shipwreck takes a mark on Jeff Goldblum. So these marks are very, very important. Real American Heroes, when they mark a Saurus, he's saying this Saurus will not move next turn unless he blitzes. Because there's no way Jeff Goldblum's going to risk a 5+ dodge with no rerolls especially. Baroness gets out to the right side of the pitch. 45 seconds left on the clock. One dive block is a skull on Joe Mazzulo. And stunned for his trouble. Oof. Big loss, big turnover there. Turn 14 now for Cenozoic Park. They've got a lane if Joe Mazzulo just steps aside. But they're going to want to wait and score on turn 16 if at all possible. Can't score this turn without a handoff, but he doesn't want to. 2-die block on Cobra Commander is a push. Richard Attenborough to mark Scarlet the Witch Elf. Takes the block, gets a push out of this. I might have just left that mark, because Prehensile Tail makes that dodge a 3+, and the Real American Heroes have no rerolls left. But now he's just cut off his lane to the left. He can go to the right now. Well, he still ends up with the 3+, so I guess this is all right. 2-die block against Cobra Commander. This time gets the knockdown back across the line of scrimmage. Breaks armor again. Gets a stun. Great stun at this late stage of the game. That player's effectively out for the rest of the half. And now taking the blitz. 3-die blitz on Scarlet. It's just going to be a dodge push. But now he's blitzed Scarlet off of Richard Attenborough. It's back. Whoa! What is happening? Blitzes the Witch Elf back to center pitch again. "43 seconds left on the bonus clock for Cenozoic Park. Trevor Morgan II gets behind Scarlet to make those negative dodges. So he might be moving to center pitch here. 25 seconds left on the clock. Now he's going to move. He's going to move straight down pitch. Oh, boy. 22-yard line is where the ball resides right now. Turn 15 for the Real American Heroes. They find their entire team behind the ball carrier now. And their only hope at blitzing the ball carrier is going to be Scarlet. Negative dodges galore. It's a 2, -2. Scarlet can go -2 to a positive dodge and come out this way. I think that's the only way he's going to try to stop the score. But again, it's so risky because you have no re-rolls. He does have the dodge skill. Oh, he's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. 2-9 blitz. He got the POW. He got the POW as Ariana Rich is going to stay on the pitch. Breaks armor. Great stun by the Real American Heroes. I was going to say, I don't know if he'd want to risk it because the Witch Elves are so fragile, but he did. He was given that opportunity to slide through here. I guess I wouldn't say it's a slide, but came in on the -2 to the positive dodge on the blitz this way. I think Nick Satan would have been better served to set up a screen here and then move this way, or a screen here and move this way, rather than giving up that gap. And then, of course, the 2+ dodge fails. Turn 15 now for Cenozoic Park. Oh, boy. The sidestep Witch Elf, not a concern right now. 6-player advantage here on the blitz on Scarlet. This will be a push to free up the ball with 1 reroll. Does he go into the end zone now? I think he might do. I think he might do. Nobody with sure hands. If he fails this pickup, he'll have to spend a reroll. It's either Trevor Morgan II or Joe Mazzulo to get the SPP. Good action order. Repositioning players first. There's no die rolls associated with that. So they are risk-free. Von Roos says he's got 2 turns. He does have 2 turns. He does have 2 turns. Three plus pickup. Got the pickup. Oh, so scary. He could score right now. Unless he's afraid. Unless he's afraid of a turn 16 score. Could also be afraid of... He doesn't want to give the Real American Heroes 2 opportunities to get back all these KOs. But man, with 1 reroll left, oh, so scary. Probably in good shape here, but so scary. Just needs to keep the ball carrier protected. He can pull Wayne Knight up into the back right corner of the cage. Oh, man. Oh, man. I think maybe Joe Mazzulo comes out forward, and then maybe Wayne Knight fills in the gap here. 9 seconds left on the bonus clock for Cenozoic Park. They've got to pull those 2 players forward. There's one. 1 second left. He's got it right under the gun, but that's going to be the end of the turn. Turn 16 for the Real American Heroes. They are in the lead. If they can somehow stop the score, they will be the new Spike Magazine Trophy champions. If not, we're going to overtime. Maybe. Probably. Real American Heroes with no rerolls. They have 45 seconds left on the bonus clock. Real American Heroes really thinking this turn through. How much risk do you want to put Scarlet through just to potentially lose her for overtime? I don't think you really want to do it. I think maybe you just give up the TD. Well, actually, I guess maybe you can blitz Joe Mazzulo and then take a mark on Trevor Morgan and hope for the best. Poopala says, all or nothing, blitz that skink. I think maybe you blitz Joe Mazzulo. I think that's the play. Come out, positive dodge. 3+ do the prehensile tail. Try to blitz down Joe Mazzulo. And then take a mark on Trevor Morgan. Boy, tried to go for the blitz. Blitz failed, and that is going to be it. Turn 16. This is going to be a 1-1 ball game. We're going to overtime. Well done by Cenozoic Park. There we go. There we go. I don't have an info says if she does it twice, she'd be a legend indeed. She tried. Didn't work out. Cenozoic Park's going to have a 4-man player advantage going into overtime. Overtime is not sudden death. So we're playing all 8 turns of overtime. Whoever comes out ahead at the end will be the winner. If not, it goes to kicks. Cenozoic Park with 5 on the line once more. 4 of the 6 Sauruses on the line. El Marino says kicks are the worst. Kicks are the worst. They are. I would really, I understand it shakes up the game. I would really like some mechanic for like field goals, you know, just something to make something like that playable. Real American Heroes are going to set up with just 6 players. Only got back 2 of their KOs. That is at odds. Probably not the right phrase. At a 4+, odds were he'd only received 2, and indeed, he only received 2. 10 v6. I think Satan would have loved to win the coin toss, but now he's going to have to fight a little bit for this ball. Significant player advantage, but Real American Heroes are not out yet. Boy, rolled a 2 on the blitz. 5 players get to blitz. And by the Real American Heroes trying to stay away from the 2 Sauruses on the left, they now get to move into position. Don't get under the ball. Don't get under the ball. Oh, you. He rushes forward to take a mark on Duke. 2-die blitz. Gets the knockout on Chuckles. The left guard for the offense. Plenty of movement left with Jeff Goldblum after the blitz. Can try to get behind the offensive line. Boy, Dad Fred did not set up to try to stop the blitz, and now with the blitz result on the kickoff event table, Cenozoic Park is going to take advantage of it. Yeah, here comes Ariana Richards on the 50-50 catch. Doesn't work out. The ball's going to bounce right next to Duke, but it's a -2. Turn 17 for the Real American Heroes after Nuffle grants Cenozoic Park a big blitz kickoff event. It's a fair point. Move 09 says, hard to set up anti-blitz when you have 6 players. That is true. So what you have to do is you just set people up on the line and you just shout across the pitch. You say, "Don't blitz! Do not do it! I'm warning you!" And then they'll think twice. 2+ dodge on the blitz against Ariana Richards. It's going to be a dodge push. Ariana Richards tried to recover this ball on the kickoff. Didn't work out. Pulling what few players he can back toward this ball. Cobra Commander on the blitz. Scarlet, the number 13 Witch Elf, pulls back in position. This is the Witch Elf that is not the Blodger. Does not have sidestep. The other Witch Elf has been knocked out, the Baroness. Three plus pickup does not work out, but gets the ball into the hands of Scarlet. That'll be a turnover on the failed pickup, but still recovers the ball. Just a -3, down from a -2 after the blitz. The ball in the hands of the number 13 Witch Elf on the Real American Heroes own 12-yard line, and now taking blocks on the line. We'll get a push against Roadblock. I'm sorry, Jeff Goldblum will get the push against Roadblock. And now Roadblock knocked down by Sam Jackson. Breaks armor. Every armor break at this point is a good armor break. That stun means that player is out for a turn, and with a significant player advantage, it's easy to pick off that player and make sure they're out for a drive. Blitz still on the table. Cenozoic Park with 1 reroll remaining, but they have no time on the bonus clock, so just 45 seconds left in the turn, and that will be it. Two-die blitz. They got a pal on Shipwreck. 8+ breaks armor. They've got the armor break, and that's another stun. A great stun. As one more space of movement with BD Wong can mark the ball carrier, and indeed he does. And now 2-die block on Duke gets a POW. And again, an 8+ to break armor. No armor break this time. That's the turn. No time left on the bonus clock for Cenozoic Park. So now the Real American Heroes will be up on turn 18. They've got a positive dodge out the way Cobra Commander is. They can also come out the other end here in this diagonal if they wish. all the blodgers off the pitch for Real American Heroes. This is a big loss for them, but they're going to try to make it work. They need to get a touchdown. They're going to go for the gold. Cobra Commander is going to move all the way down pitch to the opposing 6-yard line in the left wide zone. Scarlet surely going to follow up behind. 2+ dodge. Well done. And there's Scarlet on the opposing 4-yard line, just behind Cobra Commander. Rushes onto the sideline. Who would have ever thought Scarlet and Cobra Commander would be working together? Has a 2+ dodge with Chuckles. Oh! Decided to move Duke. He might leave Chuckles in place to keep Richard Attenborough in place. If he is going to move Chuckles, he is going to move Chuckles. Boy. So I think that was a little bit of an error here. That 3+ dodge, obviously less risky than the 3+ and the 2+. But now Richard Attenborough free to get in a position and mark Scarlet. Is he going to try for the Witch Elf Surf? Cobblestone BB, welcome to the stream. He says, I think I see dice on the ball. It looks like he's not going to go for the surf. Does this mean he's not going to block Scarlet? So just encircling this diminished Dark Elf offense. And the Marina says, Chuckles could have been hit by the Sorry Spider at the risk of the dodge imp. Well, wouldn't you want to do that before you did the Duke dodge? And now the blitz. It's gonna rush. I don't think this is worth it. Yeah, just leave it alone. So it's picked off the rest of the offense. Has kept them on the opposite side of the ball here. Turn 19 for the Real American Heroes. Boy, have they been praying to Nuffle? We'll find out. .45 seconds on the bonus clock for the Real American Heroes. They have the ball on the opposing 6-yard line. They really desperately want to score. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And a risky dodge in the way unless an uphill is taken against Richard Attenborough. Oh no! Tried to dodge in. Duke failed the dodge, and that's a turnover. Oh no! Oh no! But Richard Attenborough, did he spend the blitz on this? Oh, yeah, all right, he's marking. Good. Richard Attenborough is going to go boneheaded, so can't take the block on Scarlet with Richard Attenborough. Takes a 2-die block on Chuckles, gets the POW here, looking for a 9+. Doesn't get the 9+. Still has a blitz. Can still go for the surf. But instead going to take the blitz on Cobra Commander, gets a POW here. Breaks armor, great armor, wow! Huge armor break. What is the count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 6-man player advantage for Cenozoic Park. So decided not to surf the ball carrier, instead taking out the rest of the team. Turn 20 now for the Real American Heroes. Oh. The Real American Heroes have their work cut out for them. I mean, I think they might need to risk a pass or something at this point. Like, get roadblock up, get somebody up, and just hope for the best. Stand up these boys here. I don't know, man. You've got 4 players left. Von Rue, thank you for the bits. Yes, the Real American Heroes absolutely need a hero. This is it. This is the episode where Cobra takes over the world, but the Joes, just in the nick of time, save the day. This is where it needs to happen. 55 seconds left on the clock. Wherever there's trouble, they're there on the double. Cobblestorm BB says, 4 players, that's 3 more than the elves need. Oh, taking a blitz with Scarlet. They'll get a push on Ariana Richards. So they took the blitz. That means no pass. Oh, no. No, Scarlet's going to be wrestled to the ground. Boot Polish, thank you so much for the bits. So wrestled to the ground, that's a turnover because he lost possession of the ball. And now turn 20 for Cenozoic Park. Richard Attenborough is going to mark the ball. Here they come, the Lizards of Cenozoic Park. Nick Satan looking to win. Both teams looking to win. If they win here tonight, they will advance. Not only will they become the Spike Magazine Trophy champion, but they will advance to the Blood Bowl in the upper bracket. Oh, Von Rue, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Good pickup by Ariana Richards III now. Ball in possession by Cenozoic Park. Turn 21 now for the Real American Heroes. They have 4 turns to get on the board. They have 4 players left on the pitch. All 4 are prone. No rerolls. 45 seconds left on the bonus clock. Roadblock's going to stand up and play some defense. Another option for the Real American Heroes is if they can somehow prevent the score, they can bring this down to kicks, which is just a roll-off. Boy, it's looking more and more like their best option. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think they have to go after the ball. Another good dodge, this time by Shipwrecked. Dodging away from these Sauruses means they're not going to be blocked, but it also means the Sauruses are free to move. Sauruses are not slow. MA6 is pretty decent, especially with a Strength 4 piece. Scarlet gets to safety, but she's going to move behind the ball carrier, which means she's not really in position to do much work. She's going to find herself very behind the ball, probably out of range of the ball in this upcoming turn. Finally fails a dodge here. Succeeds in the first dodge, fails the second dodge by Chuckles. Turn 21 now for Cenozoic Park. They've got a free opportunity to move this ball well down pitch. V4 on the pitch, still a tie ball game. Cenozoic Park's been holding on to that reroll. Good for them. They're going to advance the ball cautiously down pitch. They're setting up a cage on the opposing 12-yard line. And there it is. A Crocs and 4 Sauruses on the cage. Blitz on Scarlet will be a push. Surprised he didn't try to blitz down Roadblock. Takes a mark on Shipwreck. There's a few other players to reposition. Trevor Morgan, Joe Mazzalone, Wayne Knight. And the final piece is to reposition before it's turn 22. Turn 22 now for the Real American Heroes. It's looking grim. 4 players on the pitch. 1 is prone. They've got to go for something big. They've got to go for something big. Nick Satan can't be anxious. He wants to stall this out till turn 24. He doesn't want the Real American Heroes to get 3 players back. It's going to give the Real American Heroes 3 opportunities to make a big play. We saw Nick Satan make a big play in the in week 9 of regulation. And the Real American Heroes do the same. Every die roll's scary with no rerolls. Failed the dodge with Shipwreck. Turn 22, back to Cenozoic Park. They're going to advance this ball further down pitch, and they're going to set up a minefield to get at Ariana Richards. Ariana Richards hanging out just outside the end zone on the 24-yard line. The game-winning touchdown. is close at hand. SP Beavers, hopefully this match reminds you why you must always push on the ball. Fails the boneheaded with Richard Attenborough. That means Roblox's going to stay standing. Repositions Wayne Knight to make sure Roadblock doesn't have an easy angle toward the ball. Turn 23 for the Real American Heroes. Cenozoic Park defeating league champion Doug the Minotaur and the White Skull Windbreakers for the first time this season. The Windbreakers had 0 losses in the Chaos Cup and 0 losses in this Spike Magazine trophy until the semifinals. Nick Satan really wants this title tonight. Wants to reclaim the Spike Magazine Trophy Championship title. Wants to earn his spot in the Blood Bowl this season. Wants to skip the lower bracket, go right to the upper bracket with a win here tonight. Good dodge by Shipwreck, but didn't declare a blitz. Oh, gosh! Declared the blitz. Actually, I'm not sure he did declare the blitz. Did declare the blitz with Scarlet, but failed the dodge. Turn 23 for Cenozoic Park. They're going to make the minefield worse. Scarlet has been stunned. She has no opportunity to get in on this ball in the upcoming turn. It's going to be down to Shipwreck, Roadblock, and I think that's it. Shipwreck's going to be knocked to the ground. Oh no! Shipwreck's done. Roadblock, what can you do? If Cenozoic Park can block down Roadblock, that'll be the game. There it is! He's got the knockdown! Cenozoic Park's gonna win this one in turn 24. 2-1, and they are going to be the new Spike Magazine Trophy champions. Oh boy, what a game that was. Well played by both coaches. Boy, oh boy. Edge versus Bash. The Bash got the better of the Real American Heroes. Bootball says, what if he forgets the score and loses flips? You know what? Maybe he'll forget the score. Real American Heroes cannot get at the ball with Shipwreck, with Chuckles, or with Scarlet, who is stunned. Just gonna try something that's gonna fail, and then Cenozoic Park gonna walk the ball in here. He has a reroll. Don't get greedy. Yeah, there it is. Well done by Nick Satan. With the cheerleader to boot, let's go! Let's go! Oh boy, well played. Hard fought game. And Cenozoic Park are going to be the new Spike Magazine Trophy champions. Congratulations to Nick Satan and the team. Well fought game by both coaches. Came down to the wire. We had 2 semifinals and a final all go to overtime. Man, man. And there it is, Cenozoic Park, the new Spike Magazine Trophy champions. Once again, congratulations to Nick Satan defeating the league champions in the semifinals advance to go up against this really tough Real American Heroes team. Both these teams came from Division A. It was a Division A final. Cenozoic Park ends up on top and wins this one tonight, 2-1 in overtime. They are the new champions. They will advance to the Blood Bowl. To join the White Skull Windbreakers in the upper bracket. So White Skull Windbreakers and Cenozoic Park will advance to the Blood Bowl in the upper bracket, while Nevagona and the Real American Heroes advance to the Blood Bowl in the lower bracket. The winner of the lower bracket will advance to the upper bracket to face off against this season's champions. We have one more competition to go this season. That's going to be the Dungeon Bowl. Registration for that's going to open up tomorrow. If you'd like to play with us, come hang out in our Discord. The link is right there. Come hang out in our Discord and just say, hey, I'd like to play, and we'll get you signed up. Registration will probably open for a week or two, I think. Probably, well, not a week, probably 2 weeks. And then usually what will happen, it depends on the number of players, but generally speaking, it'll be a divisional. So after those 2 weeks, there'll be, we do divisional voting. So just to make sure things are sporting and fair and competitive, we see the divisions based off of just, randomly we come up with 3 different sets of divisions, and then all the coaches vote on the division they like the best, and the winning votes, that becomes the division. So that'll be another week of voting. But then we'll get the Dungeon Bowl underway. Again, you don't have to have played this season. You never even have to have played the game of Blood Bowl before. But we'd love to have you out and play this super rad game with us. I love this game so much. Whew, congratulations again to Cenozoic Park and Nick Satan and Dead Fred as well. Played a really fantastic game. And even though they're the runner-up, remember, they are going to the Blood Bowl as well. They'll just have to fight out of the lower bracket. But the Real American Heroes could advance to the upper bracket if they win the Dungeon Bowl. There's a whole other competition to play. But that's going to do it for our Spike Magazine trophy. I hope you'll come out for the Dungeon Bowl, whether you play with us, whether you watch, whether you help out and participate. I appreciate all of it. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for sharing this game that I love so much. And we hope to see you back here in a few weeks for the Dungeon Bowl. And when that Dungeon Bowl begins, you'll be able to get you'll be able to check out our schedule and get alerted to the game schedulings on our website at maml.club. That's maml.club here on Twitch, or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel, Play Blood Bowl. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Our next competition will support crossplay, so whether you're playing on the PC, the Xbox, or the PlayStation, you can play with us. And until the Dungeon Bowl, thank you everybody once again for hanging out. Take care, and we'll see you back here for competition number 3 here in Season 4. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks.